Howdy guys, and welcome to Broke Left Stick Games Top 10 Video Games that were above expectations in 2017. These were games that we bought and are worth their price tag. They're best bang for the buck. They have a lot of playability. They have a lot of mobility. They're not stuck in their rut of most of these gaming games that come out that are just really repeating the same rinse and repeat. Without further ado, let's get to that list. Number 1, Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is the second coming of Ocarina of Time. This is a special game. I can tell you that Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, they didn't do it like this. I haven't played a game this good since Ocarina. For the Zelda series, that is. You can run around, you can do quests, you can get shrines. The linear parts feel awesome. The boss fight with the Divine Beast is ridiculous. The amount of time that me and my godson have put into this game is well over 200 hours. This game is well worth its ticket. The price is probably worth over $60 easily. This is a $90, $100 game. So this is worth every penny. The Amiibo support is done right. This is how microtransactions are done. Get a physical toy you can use every 24 hours and get more items from it. It's well worth its price, and that's how microtransactions actually should move forward in the future. Is you get something and you use it repeatedly, not just a one-time purchase. You buy a loot item or loot box and you get the item, you can use it over and over again. That would make it well worth a while. But hopefully they'll do that, but I doubt they will because they need to make more money with these other companies. Nintendo is doing it right. It feels right. This game is open, vast. The combat is refreshing. The horse taming is awesome. The bosses are awesome. The shrines are cool. There's a lot of cleverness to this game. There's a lot of sneaking. The itemizing is awesome. The cooking is great. I could say awesome 1,000 times for this game. And this game is a special game because it pulls the family, and I have had maybe people watch me play this. I've played this with my godson. It's a game where you just want to hand the controller off and say, hey, try to fight this guy. It's fun. I would say that this game is definitely up for the top games of the year for Broke Left Stick Games. Without a doubt, it's in the top 5. Nintendo is knocking it out of the park. I do not know what they bring to the table after this. Special game, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 2, which I've played about 25 hours of, is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Xenoblade Chronicles X, the previous game to this, made me buy a Wii U. It is a special game, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 follows in the footsteps of that game, and it is another stellar title. It is the future of RPGs. To be able to sit on your couch, sit on your bed, arms apart at your sides because the Switch controllers are broke apart, playing an RPG, just reading the story, enjoying yourself, not beating the crap out of yourself, trying to find what quest is going next. Everything is cohesive in this game for the most part. As much as it can be. The voice acting is stellar when there is voice acting in the cutscenes in the beginning. I love the main character's voice. It is refreshing. Sometimes games are completely ruined by it. Tales of Xillia 2, I think, has a pretty rough lead voice actor. But this is a special game, and it is the last great game of the year. I don't think there'll be anything else that'll be able to top this. Unless you're a Dead Rising 4 fan. That's what Tiff's playing right now. Go get it. Frank's Big Package. And that's just a rehash from the Xbox One game. But dump that aside. Xenoblade Chronicles. Battle feels great. It is a huge game. You're getting like over 100 hours. The story, you know, is well worth it. It feels like a Ni no Kuni mixed with Xenoblade Chronicles. It has that warm kind of feeling that you want from an RPG. The music is really good. The way it does its game, and this will pull a lot of RPG makers over to the Switch. I bet you'll start seeing hyperdimension games and stuff like that come over just because of hopefully how well this game is received. Number 3. This is sealed. This is the physical copy I bought that will probably remain sealed. I have the digital version of this game. It's called Nex Machina. It's made by Mach. This is a special company and a special series of games. This is their collaboration with Eugene Jarvis, who made Smash TV. This is the spine of games. This is the backbone of games. This is your Galagas. This is your Pac-Mans. This is your Space Invaders. If I had to pick a non-adventure, action-adventure game, and I wanted to say what was the best game of the year, 2017, I would say Nex Machina. It will kick the crap out of you, but not enough people are buying these. And the company's actually left the arcade series behind because of how low the sales are. It does not do it justice for how good this game is. This game is special. It should be a $1 million seller. It should be a $2 million seller. It is well worth its price. Even the price I paid for limited run edition, which I think was like $30. The original game I think I bought for 15 or something. All their games are good. Alien Nation, Dead Nation, Resogun, Super Stardust Delta, Matterfall. They're expertly crafted games, and this company is sadly moving on to make AAA games. The AAA, as Sterling would say. These are special games, and it would easily be in the top 5 games of the year, without a doubt. This one is my placeholder for its sequel. I bought it digitally, so I don't have the case. Destiny 2 is our number 4. Destiny 2 is a good game. Is it a good MMO? Probably not. There's not much end game. But the 116 hours that I have invested into Destiny 2 are some of the most enjoyable time I've had playing a game this year. I've spent time with my fire team, my friends, my wife, just playing in raids and strikes and public events and collecting items, and that game could be an offline game and still be a stellar game. Now the end game, there's not much there. The end game is the friend game, as the community manager of Bungie said. Hopefully they'll fix that in the future and it'll be well worth its end ticketed price, but I had no problem paying $60 for it. I actually paid $47.99 because it was a Gamers Club Unlocked or something like that, or maybe I got some kind of discount. As games you can get around 47 bucks nowadays with all the little promotional company deals. It's well worth its ticketed price. It will give you hours of enjoyment. Do not expect to have a good end game because it does not compare to the end game grind of Destiny 1, which kept you playing. I had 130 hours in Destiny 1 of playtime, but they were painful 130 hours because of how the end game grinded out skills and weapons and so forth like that. This was 116 hours of pure enjoyment. Destiny 2 was a good game, and it could be a good offline game. I'm not reviewing it as an MMO, I'm reviewing it as a game. And as a game, it was far superior for quests, for the world design, for the interface design. And I had some friends critiquing that subclasses were changed and subclasses were removed. Those are the diehards, and I respect that. But as a game player, it had a good gameplay loop. The public events were amazing compared to the first one. It was every step higher than the first one besides the end game grind. And I know that matters for those that are keeping to play this game, but I play thousands of games a year. And it definitely sat very well in my eyes. So, Destiny 2. Check out. Number 5, shocking game, is Resident Evil 7. This game took that itch away that I had when I played PT, the demo, and it made me say, I don't need that anymore. This is a super immersive game. I don't get scared, but I felt like I had to hide, which was kind of cool, even though they sometimes got me. But when you put that VR helmet on, oh my God, you do jump. And you do get scared, and you are shocked, and you are hiding around. If you can handle the motion sickness, it does work your brain over. So play it on a PlayStation 4 Pro, which it runs a little smoother on compared to a stock. Get a VR helmet, and you will love when you're doing a chainsaw fight in the basement with the main goonie, you know, down there just fighting it out besides all the cattle, and it just is so shockingly good. It's scary, it's immersive, it's made worldly better with the VR if you can handle the motion sickness. It is a complete departure from the Resident Evil series. 6 was really rough to play compared to 5, and 4 was obviously good, but 5 was where it started to get a little bit on-seated, and then 6 was just ridiculous. It's the way Capcom needs to move in the future, and with the games that are coming out, they have my most anticipated game of the year, which is Monster Hunter World, which comes out next year. I'm super stoked to be playing the beta this weekend, and Capcom, this is the way of the future. I can't wait for more Resident Evil 7s. It's definitely worth its price tag. You can probably pick it up 30 to 40 bucks, sometimes less depending on the sale. Go get this game. It's one of the best games of the year. Next one is probably in the top 5 games of the year. It is Horizon Zero Dawn. This is the guys, Guerrilla Games. that made the Killzone series, or sorry, Killzone Shadowfall series, all the Killzone games. I've played all of them. Killzone 2, I want to say I finished the story, but the online multiplayer was just ridiculous. It was so brutally hard. There was weekly lists that you had to get on and stuff like that, and it was just brutal. But those games were all beautiful. They took that idea, they took that beautifying look, besides going down corridors and having houses structured with that sharp corners, and they threw all that away. They broke their box, and instead they put out a game that is fully fleshed out open world, that is still amazingly beautiful, and it's not all square. It's rounded, and it's fluid, and it's so polished. It's if you took Witcher and Kingdoms of Amalur and you made a perfect amalgamation of those two together into something beautiful. It is one of the best expertly crafted games of 2017, and without a doubt, it'll probably be Game of the Year on the Game Awards when that comes up here, I think on the 7th. I know it's Zelda or Horizon. I know Super Mario's sitting there too, and it's not on our list because I only have about like 5 hours in on it. It's a good game. But Horizon is extremely special. The way they do questing, you can go and do a quest if you want to. The way they do gear, the way they do crafting, everything feels purposeful, and none of it feels like just a waste. And I see a lot of people platinuming this game. This has a high platinum rate, which for me says that people are playing the whole way through. And I know platinum hunters, trophy hunters, are only about 4 to 8%. So the fact that this has a high number shows that this game has a lot of love and a lot of time spent just playing it and enjoying it. And it's one of the best games that's come out in a very long time, and should easily win Game of the Year because it's different. The only reason Zelda would probably not get it is because this is a game that's not in a series. This has a lineage. This is just a game, and that's what makes it special. That's why Witcher won last year, and I hope that Horizon wins this year. My next one, which is number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, shocked me. It is shocking. It is South Park: The Fractured But Whole, and the only way I can say that it still sounds kind of funny to me. The whole game is funny, but what is really funny about it is the way they make everything work. From building up friends, by the more followers you have, the more selfies you can take with people. The way the collectibles work, the way looting works, the way questing works, the main plot, everything is 10 out of 10. Now, is this game a complete 10 out of 10? No. What holds this game back is probably it being South Park. In the nicest way possible. There are some pretty PC things that people would probably shake their heads towards. Some of the end story mechanics, you're making choices that aren't really purposeful, and they gotta get washed away. I'm not going to say what those are, but some of that's like a little bit holds it back from being a masterpiece. But it's definitely a 9.5 game. You will get your wealth of hours. I bought the gold edition. It came with some pretty cool bonuses, but the coolest bonuses are actually from the Uplay stuff that's attached to this. So if you go on the Uplay part of this, and you can get bonus items that will actually help make the game a lot more easier. But you can play it on higher difficulty, and it should be a fun experience. The voice acting is superb. The way that the whole map is designed is perfect. This is the South Park the show would be if the show wasn't as censored as it was. Ubisoft really backed off, put the brakes on, and said, do what you want. Do what you want. We're not going to overpower you. And you can definitely see that Trey Parker and Matt Stone went to town. There's some pretty ridiculous stuff in here. There's a boss where you're trying to get away from this one boss and before she jumps on you in a sense. And that is something that just sits in my mind. And I wrote this with a patron when I did the review for this game. This is a special game for me, and it probably would be on the list for top 5, but I think there's so many that are sitting there. It's in the top 10. Special game. Go check it out. Well worth its price. Like I bought the gold edition, which I think was like $100, but you can get the other editions for 60, and probably the gold edition is probably discounted at this point. Definitely worth your time. Ubisoft is definitely my developer of the year with Ghost Recon and Assassin's Creed and Fractured But Whole. Those games are all stellar, and they made them all, and it's so amazing of how well they're kicking off this year. They had a great E3 too. And I'd put them up there with Guerrilla Games for, the best developer of the year. So it was a special year for them, and hopefully we get more of these South Park games because they're awesome. Number 8 is Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. I love the old blood, the new blood, and the old. The New Order, the old blood. Those games always tricks me. And they're probably right in that wall behind me because it looks behind me. The transition to this, the beginning was a little bit like, it kind of scared me, but then it kicked in so fast. You have the music from Mick Gordon, who did the music from Doom. He really became famous off of that music. That music returns. He did all the Wolfenstein series. What people don't really know is he did the whole Wolfenstein series, the music for it. So it's always been Mick Gordon, but he just really didn't kick off till Doom. And it's really driving when you're running towards the Nazis and so forth like that. And the plot is really cool. It's hyper violent, hyper sexualized. It's really violent. Literally, the first 30 minutes you're going, what? It is very special. I would definitely say that it's fluid. It is one of the best shooters I've played in a very long time. It kicks the crap out of Destiny 2 as a shooter. You feel like a god when you're playing, even though I'm playing on Death Incarnate, which I'm playing on, and I'm getting the crap kicked at me. I do die, but when I'm doing really good, I feel so empowered. It's a very special game. It is well worth its price tag, and you guys should definitely check it out. I think you can actually get the collector's edition for like $60 now because they did discount it. Bethesda games are known for their discounting of their games. So this is just another one of those series that has dropped in price, but go check it out, New Colossus. Number 9, this is a game that shocked me when it came out because I played the previous game in the series, and it was an okay game. So this is Nier Automata. This game is one of the best games of the year, and all these games are above expectations, but I had no expectations for Nier Automata, and not only did it knock it out of the park, it gave me such a memorable experience. It's 3 playthroughs to get the complete story, the way they did the open world, the way that you go about leveling. It's all expertly crafted, and you get like an attaboy when you finish the 3rd playthrough. It opens up the store and you can buy the rest of your normally tedious JRPG achievements. You don't have to go and grind 4,000 hours for one S rank item. You can just buy that achievement and be done with it. They let you have that opportunity, but this is one of those games where you're like, I don't want to. And I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, hey, I platinumed it, and I just played it without doing that. And I'm like, well, that's kudos. I don't know if I believe you, but I'm really happy that this game is one of those games that really inspired you to do that. And it has one of the best musical scores that I've ever heard. It's a mix between the years of Final Fantasy VI and Final Fantasy VII, that musical Final Fantasy Tactics kind of music that's whimsical. I think of like Red 13, and the music in the part of the game of Final Fantasy VII where you find him. And it's a very, 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 very super game. And I think it's something that is well worth it. You can probably get it for $25-30. It is worth $60. You're going to get so much playtime with this game, and you're not going to regret it. And I rarely say that. I'm so scared to tell people that, because when they go by the end, like, you were wrong. I'm like, no, not this one. And all my friends that I've talked to and all the people I've talked to on YouTube and so forth like that have agreed that this game is a gem, and it should be on everybody's game of the year watch, because it is special and it came out of nowhere. No one expected this to do as good as it did. It will probably get a sequel, and it's one of that's why PlayStation's doing so good, is because they're bringing games like this to the system, and I don't think it came to the Xbox One. So this is a really special experience. For my last one, I don't have the case with me, but I'm just going to say Assassin's Creed Origins is number 10. I have logged in about 55 hours with Assassin's Creed, and this is the new Assassin's Creed. I've played all the other games. I've platinumed them besides 2. That's Assassin's Creed 3, which I'm about 70% through, and Syndicate, which I'm about 50% through. I loved all these games, but they were the same game. This game is not. This is a mix between Far Cry and Ghost Recon Wildlands and Witcher 3 and Metal Gear Solid 5. They took all those elements and they smashed them all together, and they made one of the best Assassin's Creeds ever. I can lose myself just doing missions, stealthing around, taking pictures, putting them on the map. I'm not worried about trophies. That's a special thing for a trophy hunter, and I'm a trophy hunter to the max. For me, not to worry about trophies means that your game is stellar. It means you made a game that went past me having to have that extra meta game to make me complete a game. And Assassin's Creed, although I wouldn't put it in the top 5 games of the year, is another reason why Ubisoft is having one of the best years of their history. And it's the way you go back, listen to your community, listen to the people buying the game, and bring a game out that will blow people's mind. It is fun. It is fast. It's fluid. The way you get gear, even the way it does loot and transactions and microtransactions. You can do the daily quest and get 1,000 experience. You can go and buy the special toolbox with the special credit in the game. I don't waste my time on that, but I use my helix and so forth like that. You can do those if you want to. It doesn't push you, and the game feels like you still make a lot of movement on it. So it's been a fun experience. It's definitely deserving of above expectations. I hope the future of Assassin's Creed continues like this. It's been enjoyable, and look forward to our top 5 games of the year. You'll probably see that Horizon and Zelda sneaking back into there. I know that one thing that's going to be missing on here is people Super Mario Odyssey, and I want to state that that game is, my expectations were extremely high for that game. So to say it's above expectations is kind of like ridiculous, because those games are always stellar, and the reason it didn't go on this list is because it's above expectations, or it sets the bar. So game of the year, even that, I want to give it to a game that it really broke the mold. And Mario, I will state this about Mario, it is a special game, but it still feels like Mario. Zelda Breath of the Wild feels like a complete departure from Zelda. Horizon Zero Dawn, it's a complete departure from Killzone. They're all special games in their own reason. And with that, we here at Brokelistic Games appreciate you stopping by, and look forward to our top 5 games of the year coming up here soon. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. We'll see you soon.